Hey, good evening, guys. Here we are, Boxing 101 with me. Yep, it's me, Neil the Deal, Boxing 101, talkandfight.com. Thanks a lot for coming out, guys. Really appreciate it. The last week, we've been having a great week as usual. The likes, the shares, the subscription, and those notification bells have been banging off the hilt. So I want to thank you all for that. And let's start the show off tonight with last week's stuff. We talked about a new and up and comer, one of my favorite new and up and comer guys in the flyweight division, Galal Yafai. Yafai. He was fighting a guy named Tommy Frank, and man, Yafai did not disappoint. Like I told you, look out for Yafai. He's a real go getter. He's a very sincere, young guy who's got a really good management team behind him. You can tell. And he came out in the fight and absolutely dominated from the second the bell rang. He came out, pressured Frank, put him up against the ropes, and dropped him instantly, probably within the first 30, 40 seconds, something of that sort. Swarmed around, banged him, hit him, combination punches, used the body, overhand rights, and he had him against, and they threw in the towel, guys. His team right off the hop. Wasn't even a minute and a half in the first round. So Galal Yafai is somebody to look out for, guys. Here at talkandfight.com, we will be talking about him a lot in the future. I truly think that he has the ability to become a world champion, and the way that he's being, his management team is taking care of his career, and how humble, and he's very, very nice, nice lad. So check him out. He's got some videos online and stuff. I think you'll just love him, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of his career. He is now, I believe, 5-0 with 4 knockouts, and he's moving up the ladder to the big one and the gold. He's looking for the gold. So he feels right now that he's is prepared already. But I think, obviously, being the start of his career, they're going to take it slow. Just take it slow. Don't do anything dumb, so to speak. Bring in the opponents that get him a little better, and he needs a little more ring. He's got a great amateur career, as we know, he's an Olympic champion, but pro is different than the amateurs in any sport. So he's really going to be something to reckon with. So keep your eyes on Galal Yafai. All righty. So let's get to this week's show. And man, it's a boomer. It's a huge one, and it is a giant event. We're going to be talking about Oleg or Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. This is for the unified heavyweight championship of the world. It is a monster of a fight. It's for 4 belts right across the board. Let's see, we got the WBA. It's like I say, it's for the undisputed. WBA, WBO ring belt, and the IBF belt are on the line here. It is a monster of a fight. It is going to be Saturday, August 26th, 2023. It's going to be in Stadion Wokala Tarzyski Arena in Warsaw, Poland. Interesting. A big, huge, giant mega fight in Poland. That's great. There's so many great Polish fighters out there over the years and still now. And it is in the heavyweight division, which is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Later on in the show, guys, we're going to talk more about some of the guys that I see in the heavyweight division that maybe nobody's been looking at, but I have been. And it's just getting thicker and thicker and thicker, like the old days. We always loved the heavyweight division, right? It was always the big boys, and we just had a great, great, great time. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the guys. So Oleksandr is from the Ukraine. He's a Ukrainian fighter. Usyk, he's 36 years old. He has an unblemished record of 20-0 with 13 knockouts, which gives him a 65% knockout percentage, which is pretty damn good. He's a great all-around fighter. He was the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. He moved up to heavyweight, and man, he has not disappointed in any fight. Any fights that you see him in, he's an all-around fighter, and he's a humanitarian too. He's done a lot for the Ukrainian people. I really like the fact that he's He has charities in the Ukraine. He's built all kinds of stuff to help the people of the Ukraine, bring the kids up into the boxing. So he's really one of those guys that you got to, he's like a humanitarian. I really like that. So good on Oleg. And he's fighting a British fighter, Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois, great fighter, 25 years old. He's 19-1 with 18 knockouts. Now that gives him a 95.5% knockout ratio, which is huge. He's ranked number 8 by the WBO, but this is the fight of the world for him. He did have that one blemish. I believe it was against Joe Joyce, I believe. He had the one blemish, but other than that, he's been pretty much across the board a knockout machine. So the way I look at this fight is Usyk is a well-rounded fighter, and Dubois is got a lot more power. But Dubois in the fight is going to have to pressure Usyk. He's going to have to try to get inside on him. If he lets Oleg push him around, which Oleg basically does with most of his fights, he's going to have a hard time. And he is a bit susceptible, Dubois, to the constant fight, if you know what I mean. So basically, what's going to happen, I would say, is Usyk's going to come in. He's going to use all he's got great foot speed for a guy his size. He puts his combinations together amazingly. He uses the ring well. He has a very good boxing IQ. And Dubois, I believe, will have a bit of a problem with that unless he pressures him. He has to use his size, his punching ability, and he's going to have to stick in there. Like I truly believe it is his big shot. And I'm thinking this like I say, this is for all the belts, pretty much, other than Tyson Fury's. I mean, Usyk tried to have a fight with Fury. They couldn't come to an agreement. Apparently, Usyk wanted Fury to donate $1 million to the Ukrainian relief fund there in the Ukraine, and I don't know, maybe Fury had a problem with giving away $1 million. I don't know, but it was a 70-30 split, so I don't see the big problem there. It just never happened. So here we are with this big mega fight Saturday night in Poland. So check it out. Dubois does have a 2-inch height advantage. They both have an equal reach, and there's no minimum weight in the heavyweight division, so you can be 300 pounds or 200 pounds, if you know what I mean. So it's going to be a fantastic fight. It's going to be broadcast on ESPN Plus in the United States, TNT Sports in the United Kingdom, and will be streamed on BT, Box Office, and ESPN Plus, the app. So if you guys go there to ESPN and get the apps and that, you'll be able to stream it, no problem. The fight begins 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. British Standard Time, and 1 p.m. Central Time. So I'll be looking forward to it, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Canada, and I'll be definitely watching. This is a big, big fight. And going forward, will be interesting to see how they're going to, the winner is going to maneuver what's going to happen next, because there's just so many guys in the heavyweight division now that really deserve a shot. So the odds on the fight, Usyk is minus 1,000, meaning you got to put up 1,000 to win 100. Dubois is plus 600, so you put up 100 and you win 600. I don't know about Dubois, man. I hope the best for him. He's a good British fighter. I know there's not a lot of British fighters left in the heavyweight division that are right at the top. I mean, we got Anthony Joshua, but who knows what's going to happen there. Usyk basically schooled Joshua, as we all know. And so in this one, I'm taking Usyk somewhere. I think he'll stop him. 10th round, 11th round. Dubois, he'll probably 10th, 11th. It'll be a stoppage, maybe a TKO. So we'll see what happens. Check it out. It'll be a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. All right, so on the undercard, there is an interesting thing going on that I found out. If we all remember Prince Nazim Hamad, Prince Nazim, we all remember him. He's the guy that was doing the front flips and back flips in the ring, and he was a very flamboyant guy. A great fighter. He had that one fight against Marco Antonio Barrera that's pretty much shelved his career. I don't know why. So he lost one. Big deal. Maybe he didn't. He decided if he ever lost, he was just going to retire. So that's what happened. Barrera took down Daddy-O. But his son, 23 years old, is making his pro debut. The thing about him, his name is Adam Hamad. He is on the undercard of this big fight with Usyk and Dubois. But the thing that was interesting to me was Hamad Jr. type of thing. He has no amateur fights. Zippo amateur fights. Now, you're going to become a professional with no amateur fights. I don't know if that's the right strategy. I really don't. And as far as I know, his father is not his trainer. So it's interesting to me. All the luck to him, Adam. I hope your pro debut goes well. If you're anything like your dad, it'll be super exciting because his dad was one of those super exciting fighters. If you ever want to check out some fun stuff, check out Prince Nazim. He's like Hector Camacho. These kind of guys. They're very flamboyant guys. So I enjoyed Prince Nazim when he was out. He always had the greatest ring walks. If you go back and look, I'm telling you, coming into the ring, the Prince was just. I mean, he was the Prince. You know what I mean? So check it out. I think you'll be interested to see Adam Nazim, no, sorry, Adam Hamed, and he is going to be something else. I'm hoping if he's like his dad, like I say, it'll all be good. Now, going forward, we're going to talk a little bit about another fight that I really like. That again is Saturday, August 26, 2023, at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma, USA. It's a 10-rounder in the heavyweight division, and one of our favorites here at Talkin' Fight is lacing up the gloves again. He laced up the gloves maybe a month and a half ago, not very long ago, but he's coming out again. They're obviously, trying to move forward a little quicker maybe than had expected. But we got our guy from Talkin' Fight, our big boy, Jared Big Baby Anderson, is fighting a Ukrainian guy named Andriy Rudenko and Anderson. Now, Udenko is a Ukrainian fighter as well. So that's pretty interesting how he ended up, he's ended up sort of in the mix. He's no slouch by any means. Anderson is one of the guys coming up the ladder. I believe he's ranked 15th in the world. If a Knuckle Up Mike was telling us on the Friday night panel a little while ago, 15th, 13th. But I'm telling you, he's got the potential to be the world champion. We all believe in Jared Anderson. And in his last fight, finally he went all the way. He did a 10-rounder, and that was the first time in his career. And so he's getting a little more, a little better at things. I mean, he finished a lot of his fights, the first 10 or so, within 2-3 rounds. So they're moving him up the ladder really slowly. So I'm looking forward to seeing Jared. He's a youngster. He's 23 years old, and he's fighting Rudenko, who's a 39-year-old. There's like a 16-year difference there. Jared right now, they're saying, is ranked number 7 by the WBA, number 7 by the WBC, number 5 by the WBO, and number 15 by the IBF. And Rudenko, like I said, he's no slouch. Rudenko's 35-6-0 with 21 KOs. So I saw some of Rudenko's fights, and he can throw punches from all angles. So Anderson's has to be a little careful here. This guy does have he has a huge heart, obviously being Ukrainian. Anderson has mounds and mounds and amazing amounts of skill, just over the top skill. And Rudenko can come in there and do some damage. I don't think that Anderson's going to have too big a problem with him, but I don't think this is going to be a cakewalk by any means. I think Rudenko's going to stick in there, and it's going to be a great fight. So check that one out. Jared Big Baby Anderson. We all love him here at Talkin' Fight. That broadcast is going to be on ESPN and Sky Sports in the UK. So it's a 10:30 Eastern Standard Time start, ESPN. Check it out. I'll be checking that out for sure too. 7:30 Pacific Time and 2:30 a.m. British Standard Time. You can stream it on ESPN Plus in the US or Now TV in the UK. Personally, I'm looking at, I think Jared Anderson is going to take this one down. There were no odds on the fight yet, but I'm taking Anderson. Obviously, we love him here at Talkin' Fight. Hope you guys do too, all the fans here at Talkin' Fight. I like Anderson. I really do. I think he's moving up the ladder. This is a tougher guy, though. He's not an easy guy to deal with. So I'm taking him. I'm saying 8th, 9th round stoppage or technical knockout, something of that sort. I don't think it'll go all the way, but I wouldn't be surprised. So hopefully you guys are going to like that fight. Anderson is, like I say, one of those really, really good guys that are coming up the ladder. Now, also on that bill, there's a guy, another heavyweight that I was checking out. He's making his top ranked debut. He signed a multi-year deal recently. He was the 2020 Tokyo Olympic gold champion in the super heavyweight division. And I've been kind of keeping my eye on him a bit. We haven't really talked about him. Maybe Mike has talked about him a bit, but now I'm watching this guy and I'm thinking, wow, there's another guy. There's a couple that could really do the damage in the heavyweight division. And that is Bakodir Jalalov. Jalalov. He's a Uzbekistan. He's from Uzbekistan, and man, this guy is huge. He's 6'7", 250 pounds. He's 12-0 with 12 knockouts. He's 29 years old. He's got a great amateur pedigree. Like I say, he just signed with Top Rank. This is his first fight with Top Rank, so he's obviously going to want to, make a big splash. And I'm looking for him, Jalalov, to do some serious damage. I watched a bunch of his fights over the last 6 months, and man, that guy he's another one of these wipeout guys. He has a devastating. He's a southpaw, and he has a devastating straight left. It is just devastating. He knocks guys out with that straight left almost every fight. So if I was a trainer on the other side, I'd be watch out for the straight left on that guy, because that's a lights out. So keep your eye on him. He looks like a great prospect. And there is another fight and a couple of guys that I was looking at that were really interesting. He's going to be fighting a Nigerian fighter. Now, we love the fighters out of Africa. We always have. They have a huge community of fighters in Africa. And I think we're going to be starting to move forwards and kind of covering the African fighters a little more. This individual he's going to be fighting, Jalalov, is his name is Orinadod Iwanami. Iwanami is 20-2 with 19 KOs. Nigerian fighter, 31 years old, and he's big too. He's 6'5", 234 pounds. He was the WBF Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, and he looks like he could be a good challenge on that undercard there. He could that could be a really good fight. I really like Jalalov, Bakodir. Jalalov. I think he's moving forward. He's a little bit more schooled right now, but I wouldn't put it past him, because Iwarami is a really good fighter out of Africa, and we'll be covering a lot of him going forward. So best of luck to both of you guys. There was another thing too that kind of made me laugh, guys, before we go. There's another Nigerian fighter in the heavyweight division. His name is Ife Ajagaba. He's 17-1 with one loss, one draw. He's got 13 KOs, and again, another Nigerian fighter. But the thing that I didn't believe, I couldn't believe it when I checked it out. I put it up on Facebook earlier on today because it was just crazy. He has the record for the fastest victory in boxing history. In boxing history, the fastest. I was like, okay, what's that? 5 seconds? 10 seconds? You know what I mean? It was 1 second. You know why? Because his opponent at the time, his name was Curtis Harper, decided that as soon as he got in the ring and they rang the bell, he stepped out of the ring and walked away. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. He literally just got in the ring, they rang the bell, and he walked out of the ring. 1 second, he was disqualified. And apparently it was a pay dispute of some kind or a signing of the contract. But that is, guys, the fastest victory in boxing history. All right. A Nigerian fighter, F.A. Alabagi. And that blew my mind. So check them out. Check out those guys. Hopefully you're going to like the fight. The big heavyweight fight this weekend. Jared Anderson is a monster too here at Talkin' Fight. I want to thank everybody for coming out, checking the show out. And always like, share, subscribe, and hit those notification bells. Enjoy the other hosts' shows. I certainly am. I hope you guys are too. I want to thank all the hosts, all the guys working back there at Talkin' Fight, all the producers, and everybody else is doing a great job. And all my family and friends, guys, as I always say, always get better, not bitter. We'll see you on Friday on the panel with the big man Tim, Mikey Orr, Grumpy Graham, Big Lou, and myself, Neil the Deal. Until Friday or next week, have yourself a safe one. Talk to you then.